Moving on, we are to look at a few examples when the angle is not given. We are to find the angles in degrees. So we are to label the three sides first. The side that is opposing the angle theta is the opposite side. The other leg is the adjacent side. The longer side is the hypotenuse that opposes the right angle. We are to remove one side, so let's remove the hypotenuse. It's not being given, nor we are to find. And think of a trigonometric function we are to use involving opposite and adjacent. So I believe that should be tangent because tangent theta in place of theta, you are to put x, the angle we are to find. So tan x is equal to opposite, you are to put 5, over adjacent, you are to put the 4. And now let's look at the left-hand side. But you see that this tan, the trigonometric function, is attached to x. So since this tan is a function, you are to apply the inverse function that helps you to remove the function that is applied on the x. We are to denote the inverse function for tangent as tan inverse. This superscript -1 tells you is the inverse trigonometric function. And remember, when you applied one side with something, you are to balance it on both sides. You are to take tan inverse on the right also. So tan inverse on both sides. Remember, this 5/4 is a single object. You are to put a parenthesis. That's very important. Let's simplify the left-hand side. Tan inverse just directly eliminates the tan, leaving you x is equal to tan inverse, and inside the parentheses, you should have 5/4. And now I am to teach you how would you press tan inverse and inside the parentheses 5/4 on the scientific calculator. We are now to use the calculator and find the answer for the tan inverse. You are to press Shift, tan, and this combination will get you tan inverse. Put a parenthesis 5 divided by 4, closed parenthesis, and you should get in degrees in 2 decimal places as 51.34 degrees. Therefore, you have successfully determined the angle as 51.34 degrees. Moving on, we are to find the angle for x. The first, let's label the three sides of the right-angled triangle. Opposes the angle x, you should have 8 as your opposite side, the other leg as the adjacent, hypotenuse remains as the hypotenuse that opposes the right angle. You are to remove one side, and let's remove adjacent. Think of a trigonometric function that involves the opposite and the hypotenuse, and that should be sine. Because sine theta in place of theta, we are to put x because it's not given. So x sine x is equal to opposite, that is 8, over hypotenuse, that is 15. We are to look at x. The trigonometric function sine is attached to x. We are to remove the effect of the trigonometric function by applying its corresponding inverse function, so sine inverse on both sides. Remember, you are required to apply a parenthesis to indicate the single object. On the left-hand side, your sine inverse should eliminate with the sine, leaving you x. On the other, you have sine inverse inside the parenthesis 8 over 15. We are to use the calculator and find sine inverse. So shift sine will get you sine inverse. Then inside a parenthesis, 8 divided by 15, closed parenthesis, and in two decimal place in degrees, you should get 32.23 degrees. Hence, you have successfully determined the angle as 32.23 degrees. The last question, we are to first identify the three sides. So opposite to that, that's your opposite side, the other leg as the adjacent side, and hypotenuse, the longer side of a right-angled triangle. And opposing the right angle. Remove one side and let's remove the opposite. Think of a trigonometric function that involves the adjacent and the hypotenuse, and that should be cosine. So cos theta is equal to adjacent over the hypotenuse. In place of theta, we are to put x, the value we are to find. Adjacent now is 7, while the hypotenuse is 10. Next step, looking at the right, we are to remove the trigonometric function is attached to our x, and remember on both sides of the equation. Put a parenthesis to indicate single object. On the left-hand side, your inverse function should eliminate with the trigonometric function, leaving you x. And on the right-hand side, you have cos inverse inside a parenthesis 7 over 10. We are to use the calculator and find cos inverse. So shift cos, we get you cos inverse. And in a parenthesis, 7 divided by 10. And you should get in two decimal place 45.57 degrees. Hence, you have successfully determined this angle is 45.57 degrees. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe.